Yo guys, welcome back to another video, and we have reached 500 subscribers, people. 500 subscribers strong. We are literally halfway there to 1,000 subscribers. Now I will be doing a 500 sub video, but today I wanted to fulfill a request I have gotten of Simon from Gurren Lagann. So yeah, we're gonna see how strong this guy really is, huh? Some people say, oh, he's just multiversal. How wrong can y'all be? Right, how wrong can y'all be? Anyway, we'll let them continue thinking that, and yeah, let's just hop right into how strong he is. So I will be explaining the cosmology of the Gurren Lagann, and I will be linking and giving the credit to the original, creator of this article. Yeah, it will be linked in the description below. And yeah, let's just hop right into this. So Gurren Lagann is a mecha anime television show animated by Gainax. I think it's Gainax. Yeah, Gainax. Known for the heavily uses of real-life scientific theories, including quantum physics. And in this article, I'm about to explain all the details backed up by data books, interviews, and such as in order to show proof of the verse being, where they are. So I will be doing a little bit of these articles. It's a pretty long article, but I'm going to go in bits and pieces of it, and I'm going to further explain where does Simon scale at the end of the day. So, before we start, I will be composing all available sources. Most of all will be taken from anime and data books, but I will take some part of the from the novel. Okay, Jesus Christ, can't even say it right. So we'll be taken from the novel, the anime, and the data books, and even the manga, which is just the visualization. And we can, so yeah, let's just get into this, right? Because Gurren Lagann is a story of a multiverse, and every version of Gurren Lagann that we believe is real, meaning any version can be canon, and through they differ in continuity, the cosmology structures should be worked the same way. And this was explained in a video, a commentary, by the way. So yeah, so let's explain the multiverse, okay? And yes, but this was for people who actually scale Simon to be multiversal, right? So just as many people miss, Gurren Lagann is a multiversal cosmology. It is shown when the anti-model demonstrated their ability called the extra-dimensional labyrinth to trap the consciousness of people in the multiverse, or into the multiverse, and force them to perceive an endless branching universes simultaneously. And as shown visually, it is branched out like many branch trees, and each universe splits into respective possible universes instantaneously, as long as the perception is made. Keep note that in the extra dimensional space is a mistranslation, and the Japanese dub says multiverse, which means the correct translation of the extra dimensional labyrinth is literally multiversal labyrinth. There is an infinite number of universes in the multiverse, with each universe is always branched off and proceeding at the same time. And said universe are created through the perception of possibilities from the observers. The possible futures that are perceived or recognized are transformed into universes. Okay? And in the play, say there are 6 observed possibilities, and after one of them is realized, the rest possibilities don't vanish. They become more realized elsewhere in their own universes, This is a direct reference to the Gurren Lagann interpretation, one of the oldest of numerous proposed interpretations of quantum mechanics, which considers the wave function collapse of a special kind of event that occurs as a single observation. Heck, even the data book mentioned that the multiverse is an interpretation of the quantum cosmology. That is the multiverse. Now, the universe exists in a Schrödinger state of quantum uncertainty that is only become objectively real when observed. Again, a usage of the Gurren Lagann interpretation of quantum mechanics as possible universes. The data books explain that the quantum cosmology is what branched the current multiverse from nothing by dealing the microcosm with microcosm or something like that. And I don't know how to say it, but immediately after the birth of the universe. So that's the cosmology, right? It's a little quantum cosmology. So let's go into the extra dimensions in this multiverse, right? And let's go in a deeper dive of what it means. So yes, the Gurren Lagann universe has additional. Jesus Christ. So yes, the Gurren Lagann universe has additional dimensions beyond the typical observed four-dimensional space-time. The universe of multiverse, the universes of the multiverse are 10 to 11 dimensional universes restricted by the membranes. Also, it does follow the string theory, and the extra dimensions are not happened to be compacted by the Planck length due to the lower dimensions, since it is the usage of the brain cosmology. And for those who doesn't know what the brain cosmology is, according to the brain cosmology, it is a universe consisting of four-dimensional or three spatial dimensions, length, width, and height, plus one temporal time dimension, brain, and a higher dimensional structure, with our multiverse containing something of the order of 10 to the 50 or extreme large number. So it's pretty much an extreme large number. So yeah, it's pretty much a higher dimensional structure. Keep that in mind. Now, the scan above stated that the anti-spiral created an isolated universe between two membranes as an imaginative oculus space-time, which will comprise, which would correspond with the complex projective space or imaginary space, or if you want to be technical, complex space-time, right? And so the complements of the 10th and the 11th dimensions to form a complex manifold, a non-exclusiating occluded universe manifold of space and time consisting of 10 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. And the existence of the 11 dimensions is already established, and said universe has different sets of dimensional axes. So, yeah. But we're not done here yet, guys, because the multiverse has a pre of the data books is multi-layered, and the interpretation of the multiverse in context means higher dimensional space. Since in the interview with the writer of Gurren Lagann series, he said that the multiverse for him is 11 dimensional, which means that the brain layers is implied even to the multiversal structure. This would make sense because the universes of the 10 and 11 dimension, or 11 dimensional confines, the brains, which means the multiversal, the multiverse pretty much of the Gurren Lagann is in fact a brain multiverse. And he's as well stated that the multiverse of Gurren Lagann is inspired by from real scientific interpretation. So for people that don't understand why that is, like the brain multiverse, look, the brain multiverse is like a version that preludes that are of our own universe that exists on a membrane, which floats in a higher dimension, or how you call it, a bulk. And now in this bulk there are other membranes with their own universes. These universes can interact with each other, and when they collide, the violent and energy produced is more enough to give rise to a big bang. Okay, a big bang. You just keep that in mind for later on. Now, this is particular a hypothesis falls under the string theory umbrella, and it requires extra spatial dimensions. So, yeah, that's literally what it is. Okay, so impressive, isn't it? Now, to justify the anti-spirals universe being 11-dimensional as a Gurren Lagann official website, the universe sits on the edge of the multiverse, which in context is the 11 dimensions. So yeah, you want to see this up, I'm just gonna put this up so y'all can all see for yourselves. Now, the island universes, which is referred as the brain universes, are coexisting in the gravitational equilibrium. Yeah, equilibrium. Yeah, I got it right. So gravitational equilibrium. This should support the idea of the brain multiverse, since universes in said theory are interacting with each other because they are attracted by gravity. And even furthermore, in the manga, visualize the brain spaces again and particles being observed nicely. So you're all gonna see this. Now that we got the multiverse stuff out of the way and the other universes and stuff like that, let's go into the power system of this series. Now, let me describe what spiral power is. Okay, now spiral power is a power source or energy that symbolizes everything. Okay, it is everything. It is the force that defines evolution itself, and it binds all objects that takes a spiral shape with the universe. From the strands of the DNA to entire galaxies, they amplify to infinite levels by spiral power as the underpinning of the universe. Now, a power source that gives the user both infinite potential in applications, including many abilities that defy logic, such as creating energy from nowhere, resurrection, and even deciding one's existence by controlling life and death. In only one spiral life form, one person that used the spiral energy is capable of drawing forth the power of the infinite cosmos, or the infinite universe, which is the multiverse, people. So pretty much Simon can literally draw a spiral power that gives him the infinite power of the multiverse. Now when I say universe, I'm about to get into the context later of what it means by universe, but yes, he literally could draw that power in base people. And willpower, hope, and dreams are related to spiral power because they are present in the double helix, which is a spiral shape. Therefore, spiral power is accelerated through those things, and it will cease to evolve if the spiral life form loses their fighting spirit or fall into despair. So literally, hope, willpower, or dreams literally makes them more powerful. Okay, the spiral power can get accelerated and it causes fucking reactive evolution faster than you can think. Like, seriously. That's what it means. Now, with the infinite power binding life and the universe together, spiral power allows the spiral life form user to control even time and space. Yes. This stuff allows you to do things that you are not normally can do. Okay? So, like, it's fucking crazy, okay? Now, I'm about to get into the stuff of like why the anti-spiral does what he does. So, there's a dark side of the spiral power. And through the spiral power, it is what governs the universe, right? And it's also capable of ending it. Now, the spiral power binds all life forms in the universe together. And the growth of galaxies is proportional to the growth of life. Life forms evolve to find a form in which they can gain even more spiral power. However, in the end, they will lose all control of their spiral power, and life will become its own galaxy. And then these living mega galaxies will devour each other, forming a black hole that will consume all of existence. Yep, all of existence, just because they lost control of their power. Now, that is the spiral. This is what is called the spiral nemesis, a cosmic cataclysm in which the whole universe is destroyed by an overseas of spiral power. Now, to avoid misunderstanding, the universe in this context means more than one universe, and these anti-spiral says that this universe, so then they cannot refer to Simon's main universe because they are still at war within their hidden universe, nor do they refer to theirs because they do not have a spiral life form in their universe to trigger the spiral nemesis. So contextually speaking, the universe means that the entire universe means the entire multiverse. And to further evidence can be shown when the anti-spirals oblige Simon to protect the universe just as the universe is destroyed. Now, the novelization goes a step further in this explanation, refers to many island universes separated by gravity, and that the spiral nemesis will collapse all of time and space into nothingness. So, yeah. Now, in short, what does this all mean? In short, this means that the spiral power is fundamental and universal, and it is the essence of the universe that symbolizes everything. It enhances everything within the spiral shape. There are many ideas when they're defined and driven, such as the universe, such as evolution, obviously, and the connection of life of the universe, spirit, and love. It pretty much determines the life and depth of the universe. So that's what spiral power is, and that's what Simon has. Now let's get into what the fuck is the anti-spiral, okay? Because this will determine where Simon is, where he stands, of course. Now, the anti-spiral is created their own universe with an extra dimensions within it, which is an 11-dimensional universe. All right. And is able to control it completely at will according to their own. Meaning that there are 11-dimensional beings. Well, that's what they are, 11-dimensional beings, and proven to have extra dimensional power. In addition, they have omnipresence within their universe and being described as the universe itself. So pretty much the anti-spiral is a 11-dimensional being or a 11-dimensional multiverse, or it pretty much a higher dimension, a higher dimensional entity. They control everything within it, even manipulating probability and physics to their enemy, and will pretty much giving them 0%, 0% of winning within the universe. Well, including the flow of time of said universe is under their control completely. And their homeworld is the anti-spiral. Well, the homeworld of the anti-spiral has been separated from the rest of the space-time continuum with an independent flow of time, and it is made of a non-occluding matter. I think that's how you say it. In addition, Neo is able to regenerate from this place. So yeah, that's pretty much what what it is. Now, it's also implied that the universe is infinite in size. So that's pretty much what it is. And this is not a flowery word, because the novelization and some parts where the Simon merge with the multiverse inserts that the anti-spiral universe is known as a closed universe is infinite. So yeah. Now let's go into a deeper dive of the extra dimensional labyrinth, right? So the anti-spiral is once again stated to be their own universe. Furthermore, their power is not limited to one universe. They are capable of transcending the time and space casually, which allows them to influence and manipulate the multiverse. So this, of course, is a higher dimensional being. So of course, it transcends time and space. Even its own time and space, it transcends it. Come on. And remember, the possible observed outcomes in Gurren Lagann can create parallel universes via the quantum mechanics, which doesn't apply to the anti-spiral, of course, since they are only one isolated universe, from them in the multiverse, which means also that they are free themselves from the quantum cosmology of the multiverse and have no past and future. So, yeah, it's literally a living multiverse outside of the multiverse. so yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's that's how it works. Okay, it's just how it works. Now, within this context, also, the anti-spiral is capable of maintaining the extra dimensional labyrinth, a trap that confines victims' consciousness into an infinite possibilities by materializing the multiverse generated by the deliverance of the time axis at the moment of perception, instant to instant, and replacing it with the infinite universes, a trap developed by the anti-spiral solely to prevent the spiral power from being used by the spirals. Woo, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. Now, this is an impressive feat since the multiverse is 11-dimensional with brain mechanics. Proved again that the anti-spiral has higher dimensional manipulation. And Nakamashima gave an explanation of the students were given at a very couple of choices. It was increasingly difficult for them to choose more colors with infinite possibilities. They will freeze instantly. With infinite possibilities being perceived, an infinite number of universes are created, which each universe is branching off into infinitely more universes and so on, in order to keep freezing their consciousness. So you hear that right, it's just not multiversal, okay? Like literally, he's making even infinitely more universes. That's literally what it's saying. It's making more universes. Infinite number of universes are created, and even more is created on top of that in order to completely freeze their consciousness, right? Completely. And he is above this multiverse, okay? Now, when them anti-spiral fights, well, of course, Gurren Lagann, he shoots a attack called the Infinity Big Bang Storm, the Infinity Big Bang Storm, and he's able to release a focused beam of projectors, energy projection at him. They shouldn't be misunderstood as a mere Big Bang attack. The following reasons are that it is a continuous, intense inflation of the universe will last forever, meaning the Big Bang is infinite. Now, the Big Bang is also recreated their own universe as an offense purpose and said universe is infinite, meaning the Big Bang is also infinite. The anti-spiral's universe is 11-dimensional, meaning the Big Bang they created is also 11-dimensional, and it creates galaxies instantaneously within the expansion, and is way more faster within the movie. Okay, they both can anyway, so yeah, take your pick. And it is fueled by the anti-spiral's power as the icing on the cake. So yeah, and immeasurably superior. It is immeasurably superior than the Big Bang Theory, which took over 100 of millions of years for galaxies to form, and had the most intense inflation. Jesus Christ. So yeah, the blast is also can destroy the opponents at the quantum level and annihilate them down to the very last scrap of DNA. So yeah, the anti-spiral can literally do that. Okay, I'm about to go into why this whole feat right here is impressive. Whole feat is impressive. But in the meantime, as said, this mecha that the the anti-spiral created, capabilities far surpasses this Gurren Lagann, the TTGL, and the infinitely Big Bang Storm was an ultimate move far greater level than the previous attacks. Now, the anti-spiral is invisible to the humans as they are a thought body of their race, which means they are an abstract, non-corporeal entity. So that's what they are. They're a fucking concept, a concept entity, right? They're a fucking concept. Fuck. And not only that, it's unbound by the fucking space-time. Well, it's bound by space-time. The space-time continuum is bound by the multiverse itself, and it is bound by gravity. Jesus Christ. It's bound by every fucking thing, right? Now, for Simon the Digger, after he breaks free from the extra-dimensional labyrinth, fused with him. With infinite possibilities, infinite universes were being all merged by Simon in the multiverse. And he just... Okay. Look. Do note that the pillars of light, which all represents all Simon appearances in alternative universes, which Simon combines in the extra-dimensional labyrinth, where the same pillar formed possible universes that the anti-spiral used to trap Simon's consciousness and infinite possibilities beforehand. Are you fucking serious? You could just fucking do that, huh? You could just fuse with your infinite selves, huh? You just fucking do that, right? Not only that he pretty much unites with the multiverse, it's been stated in the data books as well. The data books even said that he fused with the fucking multiverse. And the novelization expands the explanation goes even further, that Simon does not only absorb all the variations of himself in parallels, but every place, including every time, including the past and future, where there are innumerable selves of Simon lives in the multiverse of infinite possibilities. So Simon as Gurren Lagann, which he created, flies across the multiverse with mere speed by breaking through the walls of the universes to save his friends of the infinite multiverse. So he's breaking through universes like nothing. He's just breaking through them, saving all of his friends of the infinite multiverse. You can't make this shit up. You just cannot make this shit up. Okay. Now, to counter misconception and downplay, Simon is not a glass cannon superhuman who depends on mechas in battle. In contrary, according to an interview, Simon is Gurren Lagann himself. Yeah, you heard that right. With his own power, due to the fact that the spiral power comes from Simon himself, not the robot, not the mecha, right? It doesn't come from them, but it is an amplifier and an armor for him. It's literally an armor for him and an amplifier. It amplifies his power. So technically, he doesn't need the mecha to win. And even in the interview, he just said that he doesn't really need it. Right? It doesn't really need it. So that's fucking Simon, right? That's Simon. But let me get into his mech and go back to the infinite Big Bang. Right? So look. So the Tigan Topa Gurren Lagann, or the TTGL, is the materialization of all possible Gurren Laganns in the multiverse. Being a virtual quantum body created by the multi-layered multiverse due to the activation of the super spiral force. That is the ultimate evolution of Gurren Lagann. The ultimate, but not his final form. So, yeah, you heard that right, people. It's just like, oh, it's fucking crazy. He's just getting more powerful, right? Just even more powerful. Now, TTGL, my bad. Its essence is the materialization of spiral energy. It also applies at the Tigan Topa Gummins as well, their respective pilots. So they're all spiral energy. They're all spiral. It's only Simon, because I'm pretty sure Simon is the only one that's powering them. So it's even said by the fucking anti-spiral too. He's able to create spiral energy, materialize it into this pocket universe. Like, come on. He shouldn't be able to do that. He's able to do that. That's just fucking. Okay, look. Not only a mega galaxy-sized mech with multiversal power, but the TTGL is also a walking universe, or multiverse, right? Walking multiverse with a whole space-time continuum compressed within itself, called the super spiral universe, or also known as super spiral space, which is formed as an abstract thought or emotion, to be precise, as explained in an interview in the data books. This is important because feeling is the subset of spiral power, and it is well transcendental. It transcends time and space. What the fuck? The super spiral space is an abstract place. It's an abstract fucking space. And not only that, people. What I mean is that since it's an abstract space with its own space-time continuum, this multiverse literally is a fucking... It houses concepts. It houses concepts. This multiverse houses concepts. Anything you think of can be given form. It's literally said it that this place can give form any thought. Simon created this place. Simon created a multiversal space where thoughts can be given form. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, the data book stated that the TTLG is a materialized thought without a measurable height, and it can exist in a spiritual, well, not in a spiritual space, in a physical space, unless the super spiral universes is created within itself. Meaning that the TTGL is an abstract robot and incorporeal. What the fuck? Simon created this thing to fight the anti-spiral. Again, the novelization even goes deeper in depth on TTGL's creation. All the emotions of the super galaxy bouquet, all the people within it in the multiverse manifest into drills, which combine together into a being that transcends fate and causality. A power greater than the stars and galaxies, and even the dimension and time themselves. Correlated to spiral power being fundamental, and feelings do transcend time and space. Its spiral power, it's infinite. With such power, ones are able to draw forth the power of the universe itself and put the entire time and space under control. To put it simply, TTGL has the power of the multiverse itself. It's the power of the multiverse itself from Simon. Simon is doing this. All of this. He's doing all of this. And not only created by swallowing all the emotions of the pilots, across the multiverse, but also the past and future, meaning all members of Team Gurren are casual and in fact as strong as Simon himself. So, Simon does this. Now let's go into the final form of the Gurren Lagann, which is Super Tinkan Topa Gurren Lagann. This is, you see all that shit that was happening before. This is even more powerful than that. Okay, just even more powerful. So pretty much the other form is the multiverse itself. It has the power of the multiverse itself. But this, oh boy, you about to hear some real good shit in this. So pretty much the original TTGL is in the head of this form. And it's formed by combining the infinite Big Bang storm that what I said earlier with the other turn Kappa Gurmans, creating a mecha that is said to be so large that it completes and even surpass the multiverse in size, according to Nakashima and in the data books. So it's even bigger than the fucking multiverse, which is infinite in size. This is even beyond infinite. Its whole body is swelled by spiral energy, right? Whole body. Its size is said to be a large universe class, far surpassing the galaxies and the globular clusters, and the Gilga drills clash between the STTGL and Super Gobama, or whatever the fuck it's called, goes beyond time and space and collapse the entire anti-spiral into a singularity. Furthermore, causes an infinite sign to appear, meaning that they had finally reached the true potential of spiral power before remaking them in an instant with a short Big Bang. So literally, people, literally, it's literally beyond the multiverse. So literally, people, literally, it's able to completely counter the fucking anti-spiral multiverse with its own multiverse. Like, what the fuck? It's literally stated to be the ultimate absolute form of transcendence. That's what the form is. Fucking hell, people. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little. Whew, bro, I'm sorry. Look, according to the Japanese Wikipedia, the Giga Drill collision causes the multiversal Big Crunch, which means collapse, and destroying a massive quantity of the universes like a grain of sand. As soon as the world become a void, they were recreated through instantaneous it was instantaneous. It's an instantaneous Big Bang. They literally just did that. Instantaneous. So pretty much, yeah, they turned the anti-spiral's dimension into nothingness. So like, literally, he's literally existing outside of the multiverse. And not only that, they're literally in a void where nothing exists. Nothing, not even time, exists. Nothing exists. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Woo, boy. But so, people, at the end of the day, where do we scale Simon, right? Where the fuck do we scale him? Now look, people, look. Now all this information that I've given you, pay attention, okay? Pay attention. Of course, he's at least high complex multiversal, right? High complex multiversal with the fucking super galaxy Gurren Lagann. He's high complex multiversal. Now, he's even more powerful than that. More powerful than that. Ooh, I'm breaking character. Ooh, my voice. He's even more powerful than that. Why? Why? Should I even fucking tell you? Look, people, the anti-spiral completely overpowered Simon's multiverse. Infinite multiverse, which has the same exact multiverse and stuff like that as the spiral, of course. And the anti-spiral not only overpowers the super the TTGL, but he literally look. Before he overpowered them, what he do before that? The Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann is able to trade blows with anti-spiral's Gamba, or wherever it's fucking called, which is able to contend with it as well, which contains an entire super spiral space, which is a quantum theory brain manifold universe between the 10th and 11th spatial dimensions. It's able to fucking fight against them, and the anti-spiral completely demolishes it on a quantum level. He demolishes this fucking form on a quantum level. And what the Simon does, he absorbs like a sponge and turn that shit into power, and he completely matches the anti-spiral with a different, more powerful form. So this super Gurren Lagann stuff is even more powerful, and anti-spiral completely overpowers it, destroys his drill. Or what the Simon does? What the Simon does? Of course, he goes up there. He say, you know, fuck this shit. I'm about to whoop your ass my damn self. And he starts wailing on the anti-spiral. He starts fucking him up. Of course, they fuck each other up, but that literally means that he's able to fight the anti-spiral and completely damage him. And he wins. Simon wins. He completely kills the anti-spiral. And when he killed the anti-spiral, the universe just gets destroyed. The entire multiverse gets destroyed. Point blank range, he tanks that shit. Point blank range. He tanks it and even shield his universe. Tanks it and shield it. Jesus, people. Jesus. This will put Simon, well, both the anti-spiral and Simon, at fucking hyperversal levels of power. They are beyond the multiverse. Seriously. You can't even argue that they're even more powerful. Well, Simon, of course, is even more powerful because with the spiral energy has infinite evolution. So if he fought against even more powerful characters, he would literally become even more powerful to their level. And in fact, it probably even surpasses them. So pretty much, yeah. That's where we're gonna scale them at, right? That's pretty much where we scale them. They completely transcend the space and time of the multiverse. Come on. That's hyperversal. They could even create a super spiral space, which is a multiverse. And they completely scales over that. They can even make forms even more powerful than that. Even more powerful than that. So pretty much, yes, Simon is hyperversal, if not even higher. Well, he could be hyperversal, borderline hyperversal, but still. Well, now what about his speed? His speed should be at least like faster than light. You know, he should be faster than light with the Gurren Lagann. But he's immeasurable. You can say he's immeasurable. Right? Immeasurable. And not only that, but this entire spiral is omnipresent within its own, space, in its own universe, multiverse. Simon was in that multiverse. He's able to go toe to toe with the anti-spiral. So technically, he could be possibly omnipresent as well, because he's able to keep up with them. He could be omnipresent as well. But if the anti-spiral can literally give him that power to be omnipresent as well. He literally had the same power as the anti-spiral, so of course he should be able to do that too. So yeah. Yeah. And of course, it's all of his attacks is able to connect, like successfully or simultaneously, connect to every single attack with probability manipulation. So yeah, his durability should at least scale to, of course. Well, of course, it's scaled to hyperversal level because he's able to fight the anti-spiral by his own. By his own. He doesn't in the interview. He said he doesn't really need the mecha. It's just an amplifier. That's all. At the end of the day, he defeated the anti-spiral with his bare hands and killed them with his bare hands. So yeah, that's where we're gonna scale him, people. This is where we're scaling. He is literally hyperversal. But if you want to go through bit by bit, okay, he should be multi-continental up to at least high complex multiversal. And during the final arc, he should be high complex multiversal to hyperversal. Yep. Hyperversal. But now since the anti-spiral first became, you know, hyperversal first, Simon surpasses his power. So technically you can say he's at least hyperversal plus or high hyperversal. So that will mean Simon technically is close to being fucking 1A. Fucking 1A. He can be even debatably scaled to that level if we count how the fundamental things work with the spiral energy. But let's not go there. So yeah, pretty much he could be scaled to hyperversal to high hyperversal. So yeah, that's pretty much the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm pretty much gonna have a lot of editing to do because how long this video is and how the explanation was. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So yeah, that's gonna be the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I will make a 500 sub video special soon, wherever I can, have the time. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.